What's up guys, it's me D'Artagnan, aka Drek, and this is a box. This box specifically is from the same creator of the Ruffian. It's the Scamp, the pistol version mag in grip powerhouse pistol that supposedly can compete with all of the other offerings in that arena. And while we're gonna do a full breakdown and comparison of each of them compared to one another in the future, right now, we just gotta get our hands on this little Scamp and see what it's all about. Whew. All right, so check this out. This thing is serious. This is the Scamp and it is a hand cannon. Grip is still ergonomically a little funky just for me. This backstrapping is interesting. There's apparently a separate piece of backstrapping in here, probably because this relies on that backstrapping piece to be its magazine detent. When the magazine is in, this is an angled Talon mag. You can buy these over from my sister at foamblastshop.com. You can also buy them from my buddy Luke over at OutAtArts.com. I don't sell these yet because Chinese shipping takes about 3 or 4 months. These snap in here, come in and out. That's gonna be your angled Talon mag. Well, that's gonna fit in the base like this. I don't know if this is a Vanguard style ram system, i.e. like an old school style ram system where you could slip the lips on your magazine, so I'm not gonna fool with it right now. I can tell you, prime on this thing is pretty hefty, and it's using something that's become kind of a theme in Manzan designs, which is seriously reinforced internals using actual U-line and aluminum bars. Most things use threaded rods. This guy has rods all throughout it to make sure that it's incredibly stable. And the overall design of it is really cool. You've got these aggressive fins on the back, giving it a sort of flared, almost like reptilian kind of vibe. And that's accentuated by these cutouts in the front, as well as these cutouts over the clearly visible in there brass barrel that you're going to be firing through. So very similar to what made the Ruffian tight, which was high performance. This guy is an aggressively designed Lynx-esque, sort of how all of these guys are working, with the exception of the Mark II, which has a very interesting telescoping sort of a plunger tube system. You can see that means that the barrel is under the action, so it's a plunger over barrel. If that's important to you, that happens on a couple of these, but we've got one DZP dart in here. We can chamber that one forward all the way. You can see it through there when you load, that you still have a dart left when you chamber forward like that. Now with the full-sized angled Talon, it sticks out a lot. With a custom or a shorter angled Talon, I imagine it would be a little more reasonable. I think the Phoenix ships with those, but again, I don't have any in hand yet. Let's go ahead and put our first shot out. Well then, drinks like a soda, kicks like an energy drink. That's a pretty serious, well, little Scamp. There's a couple other little fun things about this blaster before we take it downstairs and put it over the chronograph that I want to discuss. First off, it appears he's serializing these. Huge shout out to the old Manzan Designs giving me my number, 13 up in here. A lucky blaster indeed. And then I kind of like this, as opposed to insetting it, he actually outsets his signature. So there's the JM for Manzan Designs. And then he was kind enough to include a very happy note. It says, "Hey, here's a Scamp. The Scamp is a mag and grip friction fit high-powered springer that uses angled worker Talon mags. No mag release allows for a smaller grip, as small as it can be with a worker mag. Ha ha ha. I included a replacement catch in case you wear it out." The note goes on to say that this is his design for a best-in-class mag and grip pistol category player without breaking the bank, and it certainly does that. Despite the fact that I couldn't pronounce it correctly, this guy comes in at $111 over at the Manzan Designs Etsy, which means that it's way less expensive than any of the other entrants into the space, with the only exception being the Dark Zone Pro Mark II coming in at 80 United States dollars. This is an incredibly affordable powerhouse pistol. He also said that he wanted to make sure that it didn't look too real steel, and it definitely does not have a real steel silhouette that I can see on it. If you disagree, throw a comment down in the comment section below. Let me know what you might think one way or another, but I think that it's doing a good job of being its own unique kind of silhouette. Still definitely like handgun shaped in size, but with a big orange tip, and my color scheme being about as dark as I'm willing to go, this is pretty serious in terms of its overall performance. There's just a massive full-size plunger tube up in here, and what appears to be a K26, it might be a K25, I'm not explicitly sure. Then he just wanted to let me know that if you're interested in the Ruffian, his previous full-sized design, he says that he's gone in, beveled a lot of edges, cleaned a lot of things up, made a lot of things a little sharper and safer. He sent a few quality of life improvement parts over there. But at $110, this thing is definitely an affordable entry. It's got a lot of forward heavy weight to it, and without a trigger guard, I can't spin it, unfortunately. But it is a handsome blaster, a seriously large blaster to accommodate that full barrel length and plunger tube setup. And then of course it gets certainly larger still when you have the mag in grip inside. Let's go ahead, take it downstairs, put it over the chronograph, see what kind of power it packs. All right, so we brought our Scamp outside. We're gonna fight the pollen here to prime it, get it loaded up, put one over. Again, the biggest trick here is to recalibrate for the barrel being under the action, that the under over. Now, it's a stiff prime, there's no denying that, but the combination of the brass breech and the monster plunger tube is getting you over 200 FPS a shot. Now, it's not an easy prime, but this is Caliburn level performance. This is fully modded Nexus Pro performance. I mean, this is quite serious for a hand cannon. In fact, I think it's the highest performing pistol of its class kind of in this scope and size. A lot of potential here. Now, that's all fine and good over the chronograph. Let's put a couple down range and see what the actual range performance is. The barrel's got to be at least 7.5, maybe even 8 inches of brass, so it should have plenty of room to accelerate off of this full-size plunger tube. The overall heft of it is not lost when you're wielding it kind of like a pseudo-primary. And then this back area is exposed, but it does let you see a lot of the internal workings here, as well as where the reinforcements have been placed, and coincidentally, the print orientations as well. So let's fire a few down range. First, we'll start at the tree that's about 80 feet away. Not bad. So those are flat shots with a slight angle. My trigger's a little stiff there. And 100-foot shots are definitely no issue either, hitting way past the tree line down there. Now, the angled Talon mags are interesting, and Manzan has told me that he is working on a straight Talon mag version of this. How he plans to adapt the breech to accommodate that is beyond. If you take a look, 15 rounds is no joke. Just having that much onboard capacity is quite a lot. I would like to see a shorter magazine for them, just because I think that it gives you, the profile winds up being almost comically huge here at this point. It is a cartoonish hand cannon, but as we fire it down range, it's clear that the performance is the juice is quite literally worth the squeeze. Now, a heavy trigger pull, no doubt, like you guys might notice there, I'm struggling a little bit. I actually find that it's a lot easier with my middle finger to pull it, and coincidentally a little more accurate as well. When I pull this way, it's kind of like point and click at that point. Priming this way is difficult. You really want to use both arms to prime like so, but a serious pistol at a price point that no one else is messing with right now, the just over $100 price tag on this, I think definitely accomplishes the goal. If the goal is to make a powerful pseudo-primary pistol in this category and then make it incredibly affordable, with the exception of a Dart Zone Pro Mark II, I think this is about as good as it gets. There's no aesthetic video game-esque replica, and it's certainly not trying to be real steel either, but we'll talk about all of that and more in my full breakdown, where I compare all 4 entrants into this this new kind of performance pistol category. I think that they all have merits in and of themselves, different ways, and I think that they're all vastly superior to the flywheel versions that predate them. But the Scamp from Manzan Designs is definitely going to rank pretty highly up there, just in terms of like its overall, I mean, FPS per dollar. You're getting almost 2 to 1. The performance ratio is great. The onboard ammo capacity is great. The reload time is great. It's a little rough around the edges, but it's the least expensive of its kind. I like it an awful lot. It's definitely quite the evolution on the previous Ruffian design. It's clear that Jordan is getting better with time, and so I'm really excited for his 3rd offering. I mean, this is a serious pistol. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, much love. Blast on. Drac out.